Welcome back, everyone. It is fantastic. And as I say, good afternoon, YouTube. I hope you're having a good day. I got the gentleman back with me today, and I'm loving it. It is always great when we can bring the Stock Squad here to share those nuggets of knowledge and hopefully help you get that portfolio where it needs to be. Now, with all that being said, I got to tell you, we had a lot of things happening in the last few weeks with the Fed. Obviously, crypto's exploding up. I'd like to touch on crypto a lot here since, you're seeing a lot of different estimates of where it could go. Standard Charter out there came out, I believe it was yesterday, or maybe it was yesterday, saying Ethereum to 7,500. And that by year's end, man, they even put a time on this, 13 weeks or 14 weeks. Crazy amount of interest. Tom Lee and BitMine running it up. You got Peter, was it Thiel, out there getting a part of multiple Ethereum strategy companies. Yep. And, of course, Bitcoin tonight, right before we go on, teetering on those all-time highs. Oh, my God. I can't wait. My big thing with the gentleman, how many millions in Larry Jones, billions did you guys make this week? That's the question I think everybody has. I know Josh and I, before we went live, were asking Larry for a few bucks. We asked for a few thousand. So we're going to see where we go. But gentlemen, actually, absolutely appreciate you being back. I'm going to start, I guess, basically, I know everybody has stocks they're interested in. I know everybody has crypto they're interested in. I'm going to start with letting it open to you guys of kind of what you're watching this week. I can tell you I went with a position of Rocket earlier this morning to take advantage of the Fed cuts, and I also obviously have the portfolio with all the crypto, and it's just been wild lately. And I'm kind of speechless when it comes to some of the gains we're seeing in crypto. I've been a part of a lot of runs through the years. Who hasn't had to run through the years, right? And so with that being said, I've been broke all my life. All right. I've been broke. I've been working 85 jobs to try to get a few bucks. Whatever it's been in life has knocked me back. And for the first time in my life, I've been able to experience being in the right place, the right time, and having what I need to do the right thing. And it's definitely a dream come true to be at this point and to help others. And that's the goal of the Stock Squad. So if you guys are here to get good knowledge, you're in the right place. We're going to teach you what we can. And all we ask, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And of course, the first link down below does take you over to the Stock Squad Discord if you are interested. And Keenan Grace, what are you doing? Look at that. It's working, baby.
It's working.
It's working, baby.
Finally.
It's finally working. We always joke that I can't, my monetization stickers, the chat, it never works for these guys.
No.
All I saw is I looked up in the corner and Keenan Grace had moths flying out of that wallet, baby. I'm kidding. This guy gives more money.
That was you, Mo, saying there's no more room in the bank. They told you to stop bringing money.
Listen, Keenan Grace gives more money away than anybody I ever met in my life. He's a good dude. He's a good dude to charity. He helps kids with cancer. He helps people pay their mortgages. Keenan Grace is the man. All right. Talk about giving it forward. I don't know anybody out there, and I know all of you guys do things. I can tell you, I don't want to jump out there, but I can personally tell you, Larry Jones, Stocks with Josh, Keenan Grace, in front of God will help anybody they can help. And they're good people, bar none. And so we joke amongst ourselves. You guys should know this. We all do what we do. We let the actions speak about what we do. And I surround myself with good people. These guys were there, and many times that all of us out there doing different events and things, they're there. If we ask them to be there, they're there. That's the kind of people to surround yourself with. And so I am lucky to have them as my friend, and I'm lucky to have them here today on my channel. So I'm going to start by saying thank you, Keenan. And now I need information for the family. So I'm putting you up center screen. Hit the like button. Put them oven mitts, as Keenan says, in the chat. Hit the like button. Let's get this one over 1,000. I'm trying to get back on my feet here with the old algo. Let's go. Keenan. So my question to you is, this has been a wild couple of weeks with the markets, the Fed. most likely a 99 point something percent chance of a Fed cut. Are we going to get a double cut? What are you doing lately in terms of your portfolio? I know you got the base, the S&P, and you're running it up. What do you think, man? What's going on lately?
So lately, what I've been doing is I've been trying to add IBIT to my portfolio. I haven't had any IBIT in my long-term portfolio. I do own Bitcoin. For my people who don't know what IBIT is, ticker symbol IBIT. That's BlackRock, which is the largest asset manager in the world, period. I think they're up to $12 trillion under management now. They've been going crazy with buying Bitcoin. Now they're moving into Ethereum as well. So I've been adding in, not going crazy with it, but I've been adding in some IBIT to my portfolio, which tracks Bitcoin. It's the first official on a really large scale Bitcoin ETF. And it's been BlackRock's best performing ETF basically ever. So especially in a short amount of time. So when we see something like that happening, you know how they say, and I'm just going to tell you just straight up, oh man, the elite are running the world. They running IBIT up. So if they running it up, why not get along for the ride? It just makes sense to me. And I want to say today was a huge milestone for me. I can't share everything now. I don't know y'all like that. But one of them I'll share is I officially have 5 full Bitcoin today. I finally crossed the mark of getting 5 full Bitcoin. I've been working like this for years.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. One of my portfolios, I'm up 610% on Bitcoin. But I didn't get married to that percentage. I said, I got to let it go because I want to see my money grow. If I hold on to I only want to be up, because some of y'all up 1,000% in something like NVIDIA and you won't touch it. You won't buy anymore. You won't buy anymore when it was 100. You won't buy anymore when it was 150. You won't buy anymore at all. So because you married to that percentage, but you got to think that's poor thinking. The rich try to acquire more assets. You just sitting on one asset and watching it go up rather than trying to build out positions. I want you to start to look at your portfolio in terms of your long-term portfolios and look at stocks and start counting them. Don't just only look at the percentage. If you got Apple stock and you got 3.2, how do you get to 4? If you got NVIDIA and you got 9, how do you get to 10? You got to start looking at how you get more of these assets. So that's why when I came on here, I didn't just first go, oh, Bitcoin hitting all-time high. No. How do I get to 5, right? I was working my way up and I was trying to get to 5. I might keep going. I very likely will, but I had to hit a first target and that was getting myself to 5. I only had to put 15K in to get to 5 at this point because I've been steadily doing it again and again and again. So I hit that goal and I'm very happy about that. But I want you to understand, like I said, somebody just said it in the chat. I want to say this is, who was it, Russell? Yes, share. The amount of shares you have, it matters. So get more in your long-term plays. And on Bitcoin or even IBIT, which I was talking about, we have a really, really strong level of support and consolidation at about $65, $66. So if I see a huge drawdown, because let's say that we're getting some tariff news or some inflation news and we see a drawdown in there, then I'd be more than willing to buy a lot of IBIT in that area.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't know, Keenan. All I know is you got 5 Bitcoin, and I'm just looking at this chart right now. Dude, not that chart, man. I'm having funky wires. Here's the oh my God. Look at this. This is all-time highs we just hit today. We hit some all-time highs. We're at 123. We're at 123,200. That's freaking incredible. You got 5 Bitcoin. And here's the thing. I'm literally, and I like hearing Keenan say this, literally before we're on live, I'm thinking of loading up more Bitcoin. And so I'm with him. I love this chart. It's nice and bullish. We're at 68 on the RSI, which is a little high, but I definitely think we're going to have room to run here. And it's not every day. Look at it this way. And Josh, I'm pulling you up next. I know you got a chart up there. I'll pull that up too. I look at Bitcoin and I say, okay, are we in the next 4 months? Standard Charter calling for Ethereum to 7,500. I'm with them. I actually think I did a video this afternoon, one of my most powerful videos I've ever done. I did it right before this one. And of course, I spent probably days preparing for it, almost a half hour long, because it was on something that I don't typically talk about, Ethereum. It doesn't get a lot of traction. I would challenge people to look at this video. It goes over the exact measurements coming from an advanced math teacher, stats, everything, to show you exactly my price prediction for Ethereum. Absolutely powerful. And it's why I'm doing what I'm doing with Ethereum. And so I will cut to the chase and tell you my price prediction according to what we topped out in November 10th and 11th of 2021 to where we are now. All of that and more with supply increases over those 4 years of both Bitcoin and Ethereum, correlations, everything, half hour worth of boring math stuff comes to like $8,500 to $9,000 within the next 12 months in my prediction. I can't tell you if it's going to happen or not, but that's my prediction based on past events. And when you see corporations running in, Tom Lee trying to get another $20 billion to buy, and you know they're going to raise it. Kathy Wood a part of it. Peter Thiel a part of it. All of it, if I'm saying his name right, just rolling it up.
Thiel with a T.
Thiel? Is it Thiel?
Yeah, Peter Thiel.
Okay. Yep. And so, it's just amazing. And Peter Thiel out there jumping in other crypto companies that are brand new. So the money's speaking. And I would challenge anybody to this. I love Bitcoin. I love Ethereum. I love XRP. I call them the three horsemen of my portfolio. But with that being said, you have to follow the money. There are times that Bitcoin had the spot ETF and made bank for all those who are early, the billionaires and trillionaires. We fast forward, who is the next kid up? Obviously, Ethereum. We got Ethereum right now out there with the spot ETFs, and BlackRock just a couple of weeks ago comes out and says to the SEC, here's our application for staking with the spot ETF for Ethereum. They wouldn't do that unless they already knew that the probability would be extremely high for that succeeding. In other words, buckle up, kids. Once you get a reward for staking and they can put it in their ETF, it's going to get crazy. These become places for big companies to park money and get a reward, an interest payment, a dividend, whatever you want to call it, over the long term. And then corporations start to add it on with Bitcoin. That's why I like Keenan's Bitcoin. And they are, and it's not, this isn't going to be something where it cascades into a million different cryptos. I have said this since I got on YouTube. There will only be 12 to 24 Bitcoin or 12 to 24 cryptos projects that are ultimately going to take up over 90-something% of all crypto market cap. That's my opinion. I came up with it myself, and I'm going to stick with it as long as I'm on YouTube. And I still believe it. You are seeing that same thing play out, exactly what I've been telling you. And now we're going to find out how it go forward. But man, I'll end it with this, and I'm pulling up Josh and Dave. Bunk Daddy Larry in the house. Thoughts if it'll go back to all-time highs. So I'll let him finish that after Josh. And I'll finish my little talk here real quick with one sentence. Do you believe the billionaires are putting money into Ethereum this week to get 10%, to get 20%, or to get multiples? Think about it. Josh, I'm going to pull up your chart for you. What do we got here? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom.
I love it. Thank you, Mo, for having me on the show. It's an honor always. I'm going to play the bear tonight just because it's going to be fun for me. I'm going to start off. I'm just going to burn down everything, okay? I'm going to start off with Keenan's IBIT. Now, first of all joking aside, I have mad respect for Keenan, and the dude just does things right. And I've been on Wall Street a while, but I listen when he speaks. Having said that, I'm going to just go through some charts that I think you'll find entertaining. First off, we have, let's take a minute and really respect the charts. We do have this beautiful upward movement, but this is a classic ascending wedge. And when these break, they almost always 80% of the time, they break to the downside. So I'm not saying that IBIT will not do well over time. I'm just saying it's getting to the end of the tip of this breakdown. I'm going to go over and give you some thoughts on the SPY. Okay. And I'm going to play the bear tonight. And then I'm going to tell you what I think might work. First of all, the markets are hot, right? And let's take a step back. Can you see that chart, the SPY guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we're dealing with historic, resistance. We were dealing with it for the last 4 weeks on the SPY. Okay. We got up to this spot back here and we didn't quite make it up. And then we rolled over, got this beautiful V shape that we've been in for a long time. But when we zoom in to where we're at right now, we had this great breakout. I've been talking about it on my show that we had this bearish engulfing candle that almost always signals that there's some sort of pullback coming. Now we decided to break out this week. Last week we pushed up to the ceiling of it. This week we pushed over. And this candle, I just want to point this out. This candle is above that historic line. Okay. And I can just tell you now, it's not a problem now because it's going up. But if we get a rejection, this would be referred to in the charting world on Wall Street. This is what's referred to as a bull trap. Okay, you got these 2 points of historic touch, right? This breakout, and this is where the bulls think, okay, it's not going to reverse, it's not going to fall apart. But, this candle, if it wicks back under by the end of this week, or if it closes strong and next week comes back into this zone, you're going to see the algos do some strong selling. And I've been saying this for a while. This is the weekly chart, by the way. Let me just drop down to the daily chart. I just want to show you guys one more thing. We're going to turn on the EMAs. And we've got the 9. Let's turn on the 50. I said this before on my show, and it's been a while. It's been a while since we've come back to the 50, right? It normally happens every 3 to 4 months or every 30, really not even that far out. And we've been on a really hot trend ever since we got above, the 50, and we haven't come back to it even one time. And that bad week that we had, it really looked like we might come back. Nope, we popped again. But now, on the daily time frame, today we have, and this is really important for us to identify these patterns, so just bear with me for a minute. Okay, what we got today is very, 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 very much a classic pattern where we have an evening star. And this is literally almost a perfect evening star. We pushed up through our historic resistance. We got a doji. If this next candle pushes us back down beneath that historic resistance, I'm going to tell you right now, that is one of the most textbook examples of a coming breakdown that any chart guy is going to be concerned about. Now, let's just say, okay, Josh, you're telling us that it's all going to fall apart. And what do we do? First of all, I got no financial advice for you. But I'm going to take a minute and talk to you about the VXX. I know me and Larry got a little of this one too.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to make a very simple point. Okay.
Tell them there's a reason why, because I'm locked and loaded as soon as you finish.
I think this is going to set you up, Larry.
All right.
So let's just talk about the VXX. Okay. When the VXX is way up here at 91 in the stratosphere, the stars, okay, obviously that's a pretty strong signal that fear has really hit the market, right? And so, then it cooled off, right? And it got there after we got to this historic low of right around 39.70, okay? Now, every single time we've even come close to revisiting this low, it's given a pop, a pretty good pop, okay? We revisited here, we got another pop. That one continued on to make a massive move higher. Now we have slowly bled off and we have broken beneath this 41, which has always served to be a sign of impending volatility. And today we hit where we actually closed the day at 39.05. This is one of the lowest reads. The market is super calm. Are you guys seeing my chart, by the way?
No, all I see is a SPY.
Oh, okay. Well, I do that all the time, so I apologize. Let's fix that and show you the VIX so that everything I'm saying makes sense.
Dude, this is good stuff.
Good stuff. All right. So all these, let me put this on the weekly. Let me take a step back. This is the VXX, and let me center this. Okay.
Yeah.
Bear with me for a minute. All right. So anytime that we have gotten down to the level that we have gotten down to, which is anything sub 40, it's led to a massive spike in volatility, which is fear. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we did it here. We did it here. We got a massive move. We did it here. We got a massive move, slight pullback, and a major move up. So anytime we've been in this low region, the markets have responded with extreme volatility. Now, today, let me just make sure before I make this comment, I want to make sure it's 100% true. This lowest read on this chart is 39.98. Not anymore. Today, the lowest read on, you know, if you look at the SPY that just printed a evening star bearish pattern, a doji past the point of historic resistance, and then you look at the VIX, which is past the point of a historic low, to me, and I'll just, you know, bring my face up, and you guys see I'm not in my regular studio. I'm in my Wires studio. This is the backdrop that means I'm all business today. You know, I'm not, I told you I'm playing the bear. My short-term plays are scalp bullish moves. Apple ripped today. We made money on it, okay? I had a lot of calls. I actually been in more calls than in puts. However, based on what I just showed you, okay, you got a lot of bearish patterns in the chart. You've got the SPY past historic resistance with a bad candle, okay? You've got the VIX showing that this is past the point of historic calm, you know, at the lowest level it's ever recorded. Now I got no promises for you, okay? But I feel like it's gonna be hard for me not to make a little bit of money on the idea of impending volatility. All this market needs is one bad tweet, one bad unexpected move, and it's going to do a pullback. So that's where I'm going to leave it. Am I terribly bearish right now? No, most of my winning trades have been to the upside this week, today, this morning. But I want everybody to take a step back and just consider everything, you know, consider your capital, consider your investments, and consider the market. This is not potentially a great place to go long. It doesn't mean that if you are intending to hold something, I know Keenan, I don't know him like perfectly, but we talk enough that I feel like I understand him. Keenan's not trying to, you know, that Bitcoin may never get sold. He'll be looking at that Bitcoin when Bitcoin is north of $500,000 and he won't regret it. He's not going to panic sell it either. And so if you have a long-term view, then, you know, this you could buy. But if you got a little bit of money and you're thinking, okay, what do I do with it? You know, I gave you some ideas and I showed you where I thought the market was, which is a pivotal point right now.
Yeah, that was really good stuff. I want to thank Spy Lord. I know you're part of the Josh crew over there. Yep, baby. Spy Lord dropping wins and dropping a 20 spot for me. So I appreciate it. Yep. Larry, you're up, buddy. Let me get this chart fixed out here. How do we do this?
There we go.
Boom, boom, boom. There you go.
All right. All right. Can we see? All right. Oh, we got me. All right. So Josh, I'm going to start with Josh, where Josh left off. And I'm going to give the other end of VXX. And it'll totally line up with where Josh is. I am long-term bullish, but I'm expecting a pullback. Let me say this. I'm expecting a pullback because if you truly look at the CPI data and the way the market really, truly ripped, it was too much, too quick. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. Traditionally, August, September are weaker months. There's selling, okay? And we have had strong run-ups, but there's a ton of money to be made. So this is not bearish at all. We just have to look at what we buy and where we buy it, right? So Josh just showed you the VXX. And I talked about this today, Josh. Every single time VXX came down. This is the beginning. Let's look at where I'm starting. You see here to the left, right? This is 2024. Every single time it came down to this range, 40. Look at that. Boom, boom, bounce, 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 bounce for the last 2 years, right? You see that, Josh?
Yep.
Okay, so Josh, what Josh is saying is lining up. He's telling you from the kind of the caution side, and I'm showing you the opportunity side. So this yellow line is 56. So we're going from 40. That's why we buy under 40, right? To 56. How many times did it touch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Every time it has rubber band off of this support, right? Just below 40, and it's went up. And why? Josh hit the nail right on the head. We are one tweet away from this actually going up, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Because the volatility goes up. And then when you hit jackpot, this is 90. Okay. Hey, Liberation Day. Boom. Look at that. Any major catalyst sends this to the moon. And so that's why we are in this play. Okay. So now, while I have the mic, let me just get it all in. These are some of the Ethereum plays. I'm switching now, good people. So I've been buying, we were buying 39 and under. All right. So that's what we've been buying, my followers. So BitMine, SharpLink, 180. Let me bring a new crypto. A new stock in. This 180 Life Science. I brought this up yesterday morning. I actually put it the night before. It ran up, right? These are all Ethereum plays. You see this, right? Let me show you guys this. This is what happened today. You see the ticker symbol is ATNF. ATNF. Josh, before we leave, if you could run technicals on ATMF, I'm going to run some technicals tonight. But if you can run some technicals, you're much quicker than I am. If you can run some technicals on it, I think we can really bless the people. Here's why. Look at what the warrants did today, Josh.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Now watch this. I'm going to just hit y'all with straight fire right out of the gate. Look at what it did in the last 5 days.
Woo!
So
the stock money.
The stock went up 200% and the warrants went up 5,084%. And look at the price of the warrants trailing the stock. The stock is $10.89. The warrants are 55 cents. If this continues to go up, the warrants will absolutely moon. So, Josh, before we leave, so we can be a blessing to the people, let's run technicals on ATNF. Now, it may have run up too much too quick, but I want you guys to keep your eye on the warrants. And before you ask, how do you end the warrants, right? How do you convert the warrants? We're not converting. We're just going to sell them like stock. These warrants are swing trades. We're not going through the process. Don't even worry about that. We're going to be out before then. Okay. So now we're looking at crypto. Bitcoin went up to 123. Actually, we hit all-time new highs. But what I want to show you guys is this. Look at the Ethereum chart. Ethereum is the orange line, and look at the Bitcoin chart, right? Let's go back here. Look at the 7-day on a Bitcoin, which, Keenan, I'm not going to say how much Bitcoin I got, but I'm going to say like that rap song, we like neck to neck. All right. So 7 days on Ethereum, we're up almost 7%, right? Look at what we did over the last 7 days on Ethereum, 29%. I will stand alone. I'll stand on the rock, and I will tell you guys that you can't have alt season without Ethereum running. Well, that sleeping giant is woke, and I'm expecting a pullback, but when Ethereum continues to run, alt season will start. And will alt season run? Yes, it's going to run faster per day than previous because we have a shorter window of time. We have a shorter window of time for Bitcoin, Ethereum. We have a shorter window of time for Bitcoin, the alts, and the memes. So they're going to squeeze because this will be over in a couple of months. This whole season with crypto will be over in a couple of months. I'm going to do a long deep dive on it, but in my head, I know what my checkout month is right now. And so I try not to listen to anyone else, get mine together, but my followers have been saying what I've been saying, and what Josh has been saying is lining up. And it's funny how I come from a more fundamental angle, and Josh is coming from a technical angle, and we're kind of lining up. So I got everything I wanted to say in one shot. Thank you, guys.
No, you're not done yet. No.
Yes, sir.
We got Bonk Daddy questions, man.
Bonk Daddy.
Want to know.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something.
People.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let me help you guys with this. And the I wish I had a slingshot. Okay. Who all knows how a slingshot looks? Okay. You got the handle, you got the rubber band, and then you got the piece that holds the rock, right? Anybody that's played with a slingshot. This is the best example that I could show you how crypto is going to work and how it always worked. The handle is Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves. The rubber band are the altcoins. They slingshot past Bitcoin. The rock are the alts. They slingshot past the rubber bands and at a faster momentum. So just think about the three parts of a slingshot and you just got crypto. I'm telling you guys, Bitcoin runs, the alts slingshot beyond, right? Beyond and faster with more momentum than Bitcoin. And then the memes will follow last and slingshot past. What I mean by that, by percentage, multiples, all right? And being in the fastest moving car. But I will tell you that Bitcoin, if you look, is going to have the longest run. Right now, the alt season is shorter and the meme season is shorter. So it's not going to be a elongated season. That's what I see. So Bunk will pass all time highs.
So my question to you is, Larry, because I had a couple of meetings today about altcoin season. We're pretty excited about it. I'm going to be blunt. I haven't been this excited about altcoin season. I've been waiting patiently. Seems like you're saying the same thing we were talking about, the people I was talking about. I surround myself with some experts in crypto. I only study one or two.
They all said, it's over, Larry. It's over. It's never going to happen. And I've been consistent.
Right. So the three I follow, you guys all know. You guys know Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. The guys who I talk to who are all about they understand it all. And you're following it all. I know Josh is following. Keen is following. My question is, if you, and I'm with you on this, Larry, if you believe altcoin season's coming, which I do believe, and I think I'm hearing you correctly, you believe is coming, what ones are you looking at? Are you looking at more of the normal ones, Dogecoin, Bonk? Are you trying to find ones that are even more not known, or like, how are you playing? Are you buying them now, or is there a time you're looking to buy?
Well, there were some. I froze my buying because I've been buying them all along. I've been buying them all along. I'm not one of these ones to wait and then chase at the top. I've been buying them all along, so I can show you. I'm going to tell you what I've been buying. Of course, I've been buying some XRP, which I am up handsomely. Of course, I've been buying some Ethereum. And I started buying Ethereum. I've been buying Ethereum slower, right? But I'm still up massively on Ethereum. Of course, I got the Pepes, I got the MAGA coin because of what it's on. But Sui is one of the big ones. Bunk Daddy. All right. Solana, my chain link is killing it. Okay.
Love that one. Yeah.
I love chain link. Okay. I got some Oxy. Yep. Don't sleep on Bitcoin Cash. My Bitcoin Cash is doing extremely well. I got some Ondo. I got a little Stellar in there. Hedera. I got some Hedera. And, that's it for me. What I said I'm going to do is I'm just going to start scaling down. So when Bitcoin hits 130, I may start scaling some of the smaller ones over into the majors, layer ones. The closer it gets to the end of the season, I just remain in the layers. So I start selling the faster moving cars, the crap coins and all of that. And I start running towards safety the closer it gets to the end of the cycle.
Okay. Thanks for answering that. I want to thank some people who've been donating as well. David, I appreciate it. Ken Rose, I appreciate it. I know you guys asked a lot of questions. If we can get to them, we will, but I can't promise.
Let me jump in real quick, Mo.
Yeah, I am. I'm ready for you. I was going to say, I'm going to have Keenan come up next. Then I'm going to allow Josh, because I see some charts pulled up for Josh, and we'll go from there. So Keenan, fire in some fireworks, baby.
All right. Everybody in the chat, please do two things for me. The first thing I want you to do is hit the like button. We only got about 400 likes on my end that I can see. And the second thing I want you to do is a question from all of us, really to you. And it's, how many years have you been trading? For example, if you started in 2020, then you could say 5 years, for example. If you've been in it before that, just think about it and let me know. Just put a number in the chat. So the reason I wanted to ask you that is largely based on what Larry Jones was just saying, how he has this small crypto and that one and this one, and he has big ones, and he named at least 10. If you put a number in the chat that is lower than 5 years, and I know that sounds like a long time, I want you to absolutely not do that. Larry has experience in the game. Larry has the ability to find and do these things. He knows what to look for. He knows when to get in. He knows when to get out. But in my opinion, if you've been trading crypto for less than 5 years and you try to do that, you are going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Now, why am I saying that? Because I've been talking to people lately who've been making millions of dollars on cryptocurrency. When I tell you, and some of these dudes are young, you would be surprised the amount of time while you got to go to your 9 to 5, they ain't going to their 9 to 5. They doing better than your 9 to 5 because they've been putting every waking hour and moment in time. They in 100 different discords. They are in all of the drops. They are doing all of these things and they are killing it hand over fist. And you are trading against them. And I'm telling you right now, if you do not have the experience, you will surely lose. These people who trade crypto are not playing any games. So if you wrote less than 5 years, then what I encourage you to do is look at the big crypto. Don't shoot yourself in the
advice.
foot. Don't shoot yourself in the foot because you want to go up 100x. The dude you playing against, they're not going to let you go up 100x. They're going to go up 1,000x because you want to go up 100x when you could easily go up 1, 2, 3, 4 with the big ones. Now, I'm not saying this to say that you can't go and you grab your Bitcoin, you grab your Ethereum, XRP. I'm not saying you can't go and grab some Sui. I'm not saying you can't go and grab some Bonk. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you have 10 of them, you will surely lose. You won't be able to handle the people who get into Sui, and this is all they do. The people who get in a bunk, and this is all they do. You won't be able to battle in that arena. So this is me coming at you, not from being bearish, but just because I really want you to build wealth. And to be honest with you, I believe that you can do it and you can make it happen, but you gotta also not let it's called being overzealous. Don't overdo it. Don't try to go up 100x. See if you could even make money with crypto first, because most people try to do it those ways, they're getting cooked up. The next thing I wanted to say was Bitcoin hit an all-time high, right? And I want you to put that into perspective. That means, and listen to me close, and I wrote it down because I wanted to say it specifically, no one who ever bought Bitcoin was wrong. Only the people who sold.
Yep.
Only the people who sold. No one who ever bought Bitcoin was wrong. And you might think there are people who took out loans. I'm not saying you should do this. Technically, they weren't wrong.
This is a great point, man.
Who mortgaged their homes and did this. Technically, they weren't wrong. They might have looked crazy doing it.
Right.
And I'm not saying do that. Do not do that. but technically they weren't wrong. Only the people who sold were wrong. So when you look at other cryptocurrencies, they come and they go. A lot of them, they come and they go. But Bitcoin has been pushing and pushing and pushing. XRP, Ethereum, a lot of them, even Solana, the big ones, they've been pushing and pushing and pushing. So I want you to remember that you entered into a game, and the Michael Jordan of this game is somebody behind a computer screen who you don't know. And they're hoping that you think you can beat them in this game. And they're going to slam dunk on you and make all of your money transfer over to their account, and then you're going to be crying. And we don't need that when it's so easy to win. And then while you're winning with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, the bigger ones, you could also, you know, dip your foot in the smaller ones and make some money there and learn it while you get your experience up in this game. It's way less regulated than the stock market, which means it's almost a wild, wild west. It's getting better. But I'm telling you right now, you cannot play around about cryptocurrency. It is not a game. And one more thing, I wanted to just mention, you got to have a foundation in your crypto portfolio and in your stock market portfolio. You got to have a foundation. Somebody just asked about, they want to learn about like calls and puts, for example. Somebody who has $10,000 in an ETF and $1,000 to trade is going to be a substantially better trader than somebody who just has $1,000 to trade, because the emotionality in it is going to be better. Because when they lose $50, they can let it go. When they lose $100, they can let it go. But you will be caught holding on, like Larry was just saying about warrants. Somebody's going to go and buy a, 180 life science. They're going to go and buy a warrant, and they only got $1,000, and then it's going to go down 50, and then, man, maybe it'll come back. It's down 100. Oh man, maybe it'll come back. Then Larry comments, Larry, man, I don't got into this one. What to do? My guy, it's 2027. Why you still holding on to that warrant?
Right.
We supposed to have been got up out of that. This was a trade. So I say that to say, if you put your head on straight and you take this seriously, you will make a lot of money. But if you have ASS it, you will lose a lot of money. And I say this to you as somebody, this is what I would tell my son if I had one. So again, that's really all I wanted to just put on y'all. I believe that you could really make a whole lot of money, but you got to take it seriously, family. You got to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Josh, I'm going to pull you up. Before I do, I just want to tell everybody, you hear what he's saying about he's going to throw out, you're playing Jordan. I'm an Ohio kid, so I'm going to throw out, you're playing LeBron. Sorry, Keenan. Sorry.
Oh, good.
LeBron James is behind that computer, and you're playing against him. I love that analogy. And so you got to take your learning, which we're trying to help you with in this video right now. Larry, Keenan, and Josh gave you, I challenge you to watch this video 3 times, because I am going to literally watch this video, take notes. I don't have my pad and my pen here. I mean, it was so good. And I see Keenan writing. I'm like, man, what they have said today, I am going to actively take their knowledge they shared, because I didn't have it before they came on, and I'm going to work with it because it was that good today. And I want to personally thank them live in front of everybody, because it was gold. In my opinion, what they just shared with you, and they're not done, it was gold. And if you missed the beginning of this live stream of what they talked about, all three, I'm going to be working on what I'm going to do to take advantage of what they shared for free for everybody. And what I'm going to share, I have my second link down below. First link's to the squad. It's the squad Discord. The second link is my webinar. It's free. Check it out. Hour long. Teach you how to learn the technical analysis. And if you don't know it, you're missing out on a powerful tool. With that being said, Josh, take care of this one, man.
Well, I just want to say again that, I'm loving what gems are being dropped here today. And I'm just going to say again, I just think it's a privilege to be part of this group. And I'm just going to thank each of you guys for just having me in it. I love sitting here listening to what each person is saying. And in particular, Keenan dropped some great gems in this whole world of investing. You need a foundation in crypto, which is something you're going to hold, and it needs to be one of the big ones. That was something I heard. I'm going to quickly touch on Larry's ATNF, and I'm going to touch on Bitcoin, because remember, I'm playing the bear today. On ATNF, I want to just use this as a teaching opportunity of how valuable the MACD is. And I'm just going to show you guys that when a long time ago, when ATNF was falling apart, the MACD fell and fell and fell. And eventually the MACD worked its way back up to the 0 line. Okay. And it almost looked back here on October of 2024. It almost made it look like it was going to create a buy signal and cross, but it didn't. It curled down last minute. It spent another year cooking and going sideways. But here's something valuable about learning the technicals, is that right here on this candle, which was actually this candle right here, it actually printed a buy signal when this MACD blue line crossed above the 0 line. And within a couple weeks, it went from being a $2.21 stock to running up to $17. Don't ignore the technicals. You know, if nobody's taking the time to explain the MACD to you, I just did in 2 minutes. It's one of the reasons why, if you got a stock and you're trying to figure out whether you should put more money in it, you know, if it's down here and it's not produced a buy signal, it's not crossed above that 0, it's not ready yet. This took another year to cook. Now, let me make a very important point.
Hey, Josh, can I ask you a question real quick?
Sir.
Because somebody named Willow in the chat is exactly who I'm talking to. And there's a quote that says, wisdom is chasing you, but you are faster. and I'm really saying this out of love, because I want to specifically tell you that I'm not trying to joke on you, but I often think that everybody on here, we're family, and we gotta sometimes we gotta joke so we can remember it, right? Nobody's perfect, nobody's ever gonna be perfect. But Josh is talking about ATNF right now. Josh, do you believe that this is a play somebody should hold until retirement?
No, not at the moment.
But somebody will, because they hear you talking about it and they're not really listening. So if you are really listening to what we're saying in the chat, please say yes. So we know that not everybody in here, and even you, Willow, even you, if you really listening, please say yes in the chat, because I want to know that when I speak to you, you're listening. A wise man once said to me, and this was 4 days ago, if you ask me to teach you and I teach you and you do what I say don't do, I'll never teach you again.
That's right.
And that's
hey, listen,
this is a man that respects
that's
his own
real,
time,
brother.
Right? This is a man that respects his own time. Because again, you got to respect your time and you got to respect your cash, or else that LeBron James, that Michael Jordan on the other end of this trade, they're going to have your money. Now, Josh is one of those Michael Jordan traders that I'm talking about. Larry is, Mo is. And if we are looking at this trade and we're taking it seriously and you're not, who do you think is going to lose? Everybody in the chat who's saying yes, they're taking it seriously. Who do you think is going to lose if you are not? So, Josh, please, sir, continue.
Well, first of all, thank you for that, Keenan. Valuable stuff. Again, guys, I'm just going to make a couple points here, and it's going to be a good teaching opportunity. And I want to address this point. So there's different fall off spots here on this chart. Okay. Different spots where the stock had a, kind of a reversal to the downside. And I've marked those here. These will be your important lines. I haven't spent a ton of time on this chart, but these will be good enough. I could dial it into the penny if I had a little bit of time, but we'll go with these numbers. Now you can see that this last one, 1060, is where it's struggling. So now this had a huge move. Let's quickly measure it. This went from that buy signal. It went up 687, basically 700% from that MACD buy signal. So here's what we need to see it do. From a technical perspective, we got a couple problems here. We have a double top. Okay. So it made a double top. It got rejected. Does it mean the move's over? No. It came back to sort of check in with support. That's right here. It came back to check in with support, and that's where it's sitting. So what we need to see it do is largely consolidate and build a flag right above $10. Now, if it does that, and in the coming days, it breaks higher, well, then you know that it's still good. If it can't hold 1060 or $10 or $9.99, if it can't hold that over the next week, let's say, well, then the momentum has been played out. Now, I want to make a quick point. Someone asked for me to chart, or they asked for feedback on RDW, and I went and peeked at it while we were sitting here chatting, and I want to make a point, a teaching moment for you guys about RDW. Let's go to the MACD, okay? Let me go to the daily time frame. So the RDW, right? And this is why you take the time to learn fundamentals. Now you can see, let me shrink this up. I'm gonna leave it all open. Okay. Watch me, guys. If you can follow, this will be very valuable. All right. So this thing is falling apart. And it almost looks like, because it had this huge drop, that maybe it's oversold and it could be an opportunity for it to move back up. So that's what this person's thinking. I haven't spoken to them, but I can assume it. Now, the last time, it just recently broke beneath the zero line down here, printing a sell order. And it printed the sell order right here. So if people were in it, they were actually warned by the MACD about 3 days before it dropped from 1471 to $8. Before it dropped in half, the MACD warned them. Okay. Now back here, I want to make a point. When it got that previous sell signal, there was various moments in which it began to curl up. Okay. But you can see that all of those curl ups were just failures, right? Even this one that went sideways for a while, it just failed and failed again. And so this little curl up on the MACD doesn't mean anything, and you don't want to front run it. Okay. And you say, well, Josh, down here on the RSI, it's oversold. So that's a good sign. Sure. But it bounced off the oversold range from February of 2025 till April of 2025. So basically, rough around 3 months, it remained in the oversold mark, going down from $13 down to $6. So you have no idea how low this is going to go. So I just wanted to say that. And I just want to leave you guys with this. I'm going to show you one more chart because it's going to help you. Okay, I wanted to make a point to follow the charts, stop guessing, because that guy's doing that. It dropped a lot, and now he's thinking opportunity, and he's guessing. But if he asked me, and I charted it for you guys real quick, you could see that there's an active sell signal on it with no indication that it's going to reverse. It curled up for a moment just to reset for another leg down. Do I know that for a fact? No, but I understand these charts. I follow them. I understand them the best I can. I'm going to show you something on Bitcoin because I want to hedge. I just want to hedge. Remember, I told you guys I was playing the bear today. Now, I alerted that Bitcoin at 114K, I alerted that it was time to respond and get on board with Bitcoin because it was getting ready to make a big move. So on my channel, I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday when Bitcoin was right here, I did a video and said, it's time to buy. This thing is getting ready to pump. And alts have all gone up about 30% to 40% since I did that alert. But I want to make a point. Okay, you see my little face here? This is my eyes. He's looking at you. He's looking at you, and he's saying, "This is a double top." Now, I'm not saying you that Bitcoin won't break through this. I'm not saying that. Personally, I think Bitcoin is strong. But what I am saying is this: I showed you that the SPY was in a precarious spot. I showed you that the VIX, which is low volatility, measures volatility, was profoundly low. The VXX has never been this low before. I'm showing you that Bitcoin is at a double top. If you load all your money in now, you better be waiting to give this market some time. I'm not making a prediction here. I'm playing the bear. I'm following the charts. And I took this extra time to do a little charting school to prove to you that the charts do signal when you should buy, and they do signal when you should sell, and they do signal when you should pump the brakes. By the way, I got pump the brakes from Larry. I got a lot of things from Larry. Yeah. I'm done.
All right, Larry. Slow your road, man. Pump your brakes, dog. So listen.
All right.
Listen, now you brought, is it me, Mo?
Yeah, I'm going to get you up, right? I got to learn how to, learning how to do all these buttons. There you go.
Hey, so you brought up Peter Thiel, right, Mo? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And why did you bring him up?
Because he's been in Bitmine. He just got into that one, the one you're talking about. Like he's got his finger in so many different great. Now remember, I'm pro Ethereum. Great projects and great companies. So is he doing this for 10% or 20%, Larry? We know the answer is no. He's doing this to make multiples.
That's it. You're right. So here we go. Peter Thiel backed. ETHZilla mirrors Bitmine's crypto play, right? So fundamentally, we want to see what's going on, right? Look at this. They hold 180 Science, now rebranded as ETHZilla, AT. So this is to show you, because the stock, what Josh just showed you in the charts. See, the charts and the fundamentals are twin brothers, okay? They mirror each other, okay? And so it's showing you that they rebranded it. They brought him in, right? And look at this. ETHZilla reveals that it now holds 82.16 ETH, valued at around 349 million. The coins were purchased at an average price of 38.06 each. All right. All right. So the company has 283 million in cash, giving it more than 587 million in liquid assets. Okay. So now what you got to do, good people, because this is what I do. I take the fundamentals and then I look at the charts and then I make a decision. I don't just jump out of a plane without a parachute, or just as bad, jump out of the plane and then ask the instructor, how does this thing work? Right? You don't do any of those. So you got to study and make a grounded decision. Now, I'm going to piggyback on what Keenan and Josh said. Right now, I would not be chasing. Josh, these guys saw me. I made more than $250,000 in 2021 on one crap coin, right, Josh?
Yep.
It was actually I checked. It was 272,000.
Yep.
I made off of Shiba Inu. But what was the most brilliant thing I did was to get out.
It was. A lot of people didn't.
Get out, right? I started DCAing my way out the higher it.
And Larry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just have to acknowledge this. I remember back then I wasn't on YouTube, and I remember I used to read the comments, and when Larry was taking profit within, inches from the top, people were criticizing him, just tearing him down, calling him a fool. And, unfortunately, it's one of these moments where, I don't think he did it unsympathetically, but he was laughing his way to the bank on that one.
Right. And unfortunately, some people, like Keenan was warning you, bought at the top, party was over, like that Deborah Dax commercial, party's over, folks. So and people, listen, a wise man, which is my grandfather, used to always say, consider the source. Whenever you hear anything, they say, or they said, who are they? Somebody that don't know what he's 50 and he's still living in his mom's basement, never got a job. He playing video games. And he just tells you, oh man, the season is broke. It's gonna go for 10 years to the moon. And you just listen, consider the source, right? So I will show you guys. I'm going to tell you guys, if I was just getting in, I would believe it or not, I would be waiting for a pullback. I really would. And I got in early. I'll show you guys. This is one of my portfolios for the week. You can see how much I'm up. Okay. This is a portfolio I started last year. This is not all of my crypto. That's a portfolio I started. No, actually, when Bitcoin was, it was when Bitcoin was 24K. That's when I started that portfolio, right? And so I'm telling you guys, from someone that has done this with big money in it, I got a lot of money in crypto. I would not be buying at the top. And like Josh said, let me show you this real quick. Let me just show you this because I want you guys to make money out of everything. Watch this. Good people. With Bitcoin at 123, right? Everybody's going to come chasing. You literally could trade off of this fear and greed index. I'm just telling you guys, for those of you that really, truly don't know, you've just been buying and you've been hearing stuff. It's simple. When this gets to extreme greed, when this gets into this green area, stop buying. Hey, Josh, I want you to look at this and tell me if you agree with this. What I'm telling the people is when we get into this greed, stop buying. When we get into this extreme greed, don't you buy a thing. When we get into neutral, like in the next week, if we get into neutral, that's when you buy. When you get into fear, that's when you buy. When you get to extreme fear, that's when you buy. We don't buy here. We buy fear. We sell greed. Here's where I'm setting my stop losses. Here's where I'm moving all my stop losses up. When this Dow starts coming up green, I'm tightening up stop losses. When I'm here, I'm not buying nothing. All right. But when it comes back down here, and if that happens sooner, let's say in the next couple of days, here's where I'm going to buy. And if it goes down here, we get a 10% drop in Bitcoin. I'm buying because I don't think the cycle is over. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Right now, with the stock market and with crypto, discipline is going to make you more money than anything else. You don't chase highs. We don't buy highs. We control our position size. But the flip side of that, Josh showed you, and I did too. One tweet, I'm going up 50% on everybody, the whole world with tariffs. Just one tweet, one war, one geopolitical situation, and then flush. That's when you buy.
All right. So we're almost at the end. To keep the clarity going, because I know I shared this during the last Stock Squad. I'll share it again. My portfolio update. I started at 2231. $280,000 up in the last 5 weeks in this one portfolio. My Coinbase portfolio is at 152. It's now up 101,000 since 5 weeks ago. And of course, my small account challenge crypto portfolio is now up about 13K. So between them all, we are looking at possibly it's roughly 400,000 up in front of everybody on my channel. I share this portfolio. I share the moves. There's no paywall. I'm doing this to help people learn, and I explain my moves. And as I do that, I bought, sold. People hated me too when I sold at the top, Larry. I sold my XRP at, what was it, 360 something, 332. And then I bought back in when it got down, way down on the 50 EMA on the daily, Josh. And I wrote it back up because that's what you do. You buy low, sell high, rinse and repeat. Larry's the king of this. He is the king of momentum plays. Like, he knows you're playing against LeBron and Michael Jordan. If they had a child together, it was 10 times better than their dad. That child is Larry. Larry is Larry's out there rolling it up, right? So you don't want to.
I grew up in the pole house then.
I don't. They didn't want to listen, Larry. They didn't want to help you, man. They wanted you to. They wanted to fend for yourself. In all seriousness, Keenan brought it up, man. You're playing against players that, even though us four believe we're really good at what we do, and that's why we're here, there are people who are dedicated to one thing only, and we have a lot of things we look at. We're really good at it. But if you're playing against someone who has $100 million and that's one thing only, and we're playing against them, it's going to be tough to win, right? So you got to be careful, pick and choose your battles. There's a lot of things out there, but this is possible. This is life-changing. 5 years ago, I just told you I made $400,000 in 5 weeks. 5 years ago, I was making $63,000 a year. I just made almost 7 years of work in 5 weeks. My friend is going back, Dr. Stock from my Discord. He's one of our expert traders, literally has his doctorate. He's going back to teaching today. He's at an in-house for parents and stuff tonight. And I think about that because that would be me. And I would be working. And I know Keenan, he was a teacher. We'd be going back to school to earn 50, 60,000 after working as a teacher for 20 years. And then I come on here learning to invest right, learning the fundamentals, learning the technicals. And now I can support my family. Now I can help out others around me. Now I can teach others who want to get to that level as well. And that's what we all did in this video. If you do not take the time to listen what these fine gentlemen have taught you in this video, I am literally going back after we get off here. I'm grabbing a Coca-Cola. I'm going to sit down with my notepad. I'm taking notes on what all three of them said. And if I'm doing that, because these guys are the LeBron James out there in their perspective in their respective fields. I don't want to try to compete against them. I want to collaborate with them, and I want to lift us all up. And that's the goal of what all four of us are here for. So with that being said, I thank you, gentlemen, for being here tonight. And I hope everyone really does take the moment to rewind this video and soak in what they said, because I know I will. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Peace.